Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. My name's Connor Williams, and we are doing the opposition view on Brighton. I'm joined by AD from Albion Raw. You've been on the channel before with Alice, I believe.
I've been a few times, yeah.
All right, no problem. Well, it's nice to have you back. Welcome back to the channel once again.
Yeah, pleasure to be here. Looking forward to Saturday.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get back to the football, won't it, after the summer?
Well, I've enjoyed the Olympics. It's been great. I've discovered some new sports, and it's the canoe cross is just the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life. Clearly somebody's just been watching the Winter Olympics and like seen the ski cross and go, oh, we could do that in canoes on water. It'd be amazing. And it's just brilliant. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's just insane.
Yeah, it's been good. Well, coming into this season, big changes at Brighton. Obviously, the first one being De Zerbi's leaving and the appointment
Mhm.
of Fabian Hürzeler. So,
Hurts, yeah.
what are your thoughts on De Zerbi leaving and Hürzeler's appointment?
Um, when Roberto left, I think there was a general sense of disappointment, a bit of frustration, um, but quite a lot of acceptance as well. And the problem is, he'd been making noises for a long time. Some big jobs came available, and his name was being linked with most of them, and maybe his head got turned a little bit and he started to believe the hype a little bit. And the bottom line is he talked himself out of a job. You don't play poker with Tony Bloom. Um, he was like he wanted XYZ. Basically, the way we've got a way that the club is run. There's the way that the transfers are made. Um, he was allowed certain license in the market last year to with a couple of players, but none of them really worked out. And yet all the ones that we bring in using the methods that we have done for the last few years did work. So he wanted XYZ, um, and it was just never. He was just not going to be given the same amount of control as he had last year. So Herzl has come in. He he's applauding the way that we do business. He's very much into the data-driven approach, um, and he's basically he looks like a good fit for us.
Very nice. So, obviously, Brighton, your expectations for this season, what are they in your fan base? Are you expecting to push for Europe this season? Obviously, it's a bit tough with a new manager first season in the league.
Yeah. Well, we've backed the new manager. The transfer window we've had so far has just been nothing short of extraordinary at the moment. And it looks like there's a couple of other big names due to come in, possibly even before Saturday. So, um, the the word from the top is yeah we want to push for Europe again. We had the first taste of European football in our history last season, and we're all hungry for more of it. Who doesn't want to go to Rome or Athens or Amsterdam to see your team play? I mean, we'd never done that before. And it was exciting. It was amazing. And every team we played in Europe last season, we beat. It was just Roberto having a complete brain fart with his formation and tactics in Rome. Um, that's probably one of the reasons why he's still not here, actually, because that was just not really acceptable the way that the team was set up in that game.
How's your preseason been? I haven't really, I'm not gonna lie, preseasons I normally turn off till the start of the season, so I haven't seen many of your results. How's it been?
Yeah, all right. It's been okay. We've won all the games we've played, scored quite a few goals, bedded in a few players. We've had some of our youngsters have been given a lot of time. Some of the players that are out on loan last season have come back in, and some of them look like they may be sticking around still. Only time will tell, I guess, between now and the end of January. Sorry, end of August. But yeah, no, I mean, we had a tour to Tokyo, um, which again is something the club's never really been done. It's, I mean, pre-season trips to Ireland and Southend, or pre-season trips to Tokyo or America. I mean, where what what language are we speaking? It's insane. But I mean, we went over to Tokyo. You may have heard we've got a Japanese player. He's quite popular. He's, I mean, poor old Kukuru. He got absolutely mobbed over there. We worked him to the bone. As well as playing all the matches and all the training. He was doing about 7 or 8 engagements a day, for the time we were over there, and he's just so insanely popular. And uh, mythomania is real. We see it at the Amex every match day. We see it at away grounds up and down the country. And these guys just aren't like Japanese guys boys and girls that actually live in the UK. They're actually flying over specifically to watch Carew. And if Carew's not playing, they still don't care. They're coming to support the side. They Last season we completely sold out of shirts because the Japanese completely stripped the superstore. These guys are passionate, and again, I've been watching the Albion for as long as I care to remember, over 40 years, and I mean, we used to have like trips to like Rochdale and Bury and Carlisle, and I miss those actually. I think those going to those sort of places is important, and it's a wonderful thing. Who would ordinarily go to Rochdale? I mean, if you're not going for a football game or release a Stansfield fan, it's ridiculous. Um, but it's having this engagement worldwide now, when we become this worldwide club, it's massively important to the growth and sustainability of the club. But we also can't forget where we come from as well. That's also just as important.
Nice, very nice. You mentioned your transfer business, briefly then saying that you started to bed the new lads in. Um, how are you rating your transfer business this season? What are your thoughts going into it? I know you got Minter, who we were also in for at one point. I think we were in for about a day, before he decided to go elsewhere. But
Um, uh, he's he's an enigma waiting to be an enigma. Uh, he's I saw him for the first time in the flesh on Saturday, and he was exciting. He was frustrating. He gives the ball away quite a lot, but he makes stuff happen. And he was constantly involved, constantly wanting the ball, and you know. I think he's going to try a lot of stuff that's going to frustrate the management. It's going to frustrate the supporters, but he's also going to try stuff which is like, how the hell did you do that? I mean, there was a couple of things he did. He was like a shapeshifter. I'm not quite sure how he got past this defender at the weekend. It was like, and it created the goal. So yeah, we're excited about him. Mats Vifa has also come in. He was actually on loan. Sorry, he was actually from Feyenoord, where when Minter was on loan last season as well. So they've got a relationship already. He looks like he's going to be absolutely fantastic. Um, there's talk of Brian Gruder coming in this week, who's meant to be a German superstar. I'm not going to lie, I'd never really heard of him. I don't play Football Manager. Um, it's these players. Some people, when you look at your Twitter feeds and you're seeing all these people getting excited, and like these guys know so much about these players these days. I mean, it's truly incredible how much information there is on all of these players out there. But I mean, obviously, I've watched his show reel. I'm just as excited about everyone else. And Ferdi Kadioglu, I think, is also likely to come in. Um, there's a couple of other players that have come in, but they're likely to go out on loan. I mean, they're all very, very young. Amara Djibri, from Arsenal, he's come in. He's looking pretty exciting. I think he's going to stick around for a while. Arsenal fans he'd not played a game in the first team for him, but yeah, people are very, very excited. We're excited about him and disappointed that he was allowed to go. So that can only be good news for us. But we've also got a lot of a really, really talented squad already. And there's a lot of players that like you forget about because we had such a bad season injury wise last season that we didn't see very much of like Julio and CJ. We didn't see very much of Evan Ferguson. We didn't see like Karu Matoma for large parts of last season either. So we're excited. It's a new season. The hope and anticipation comes before the points deductions, and it's sorry, um, it happens up every August. You're going to win the league before a ball is kicked, and then you kick a ball and you're going to get relegated. It's a beautiful thing. It's cool being a football fan, and we're just desperate to get out there and see our team again.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. There's lots of optimism, which is normally knocked down in the first 10 minutes of a game. What are your thoughts of Everton going into the season? I don't know if you've seen much of the business we've done, or
Well, I've seen bits and bobs of it. I know that it's there's so much of a cloud hanging over Everton at the moment in terms of the ownership, in terms of what's going on. Is there going to be another points deduction? You're in danger of having the best stadium in the Championship next season. And that is something which you've just got to avoid at all costs. If it wasn't for the points deductions last season, you would have finished just behind us on goal difference, actually. Um, I mean, our season petered out after we got knocked out of Europe, and it just didn't turn up for the rest of the season. So we're disappointed to finish below that burning smell from up the road. We don't like Palace. It's so. I mean, in terms of Everton, I hear an awful lot of what's going on behind the scenes, um, and I don't like it. I think that bad owners kill football and they kill football clubs. And you've got the grand old lady that is Everton, this historic behemoth of a club, this family driven, amazing hive of football history. You can't, it just takes one bad owner to like kill it, and you're in danger of that actually happening. I mean, the 777 thing was a disaster. The Americans that like tried to look at it, and that was never going to happen because of what had gone on before. Um, you just need like somebody. Basically you're playing with your hands tied behind your backs the whole time. You're starting off on a negative, and you're meant to get the first game in August. Everyone's meant to be positive. Everyone's meant to be excited. But if you're constantly looking over your shoulder, that is not a good thing, and it will never be a good thing.
yeah, yeah, it's tough at the minute, especially with the news.
Yeah.
I think it was this week, wasn't it? Earlier, last week, this week about potentially another points deduction for being 6 million
Mm.
over. It's grim at the minute, but
Well, it's frustrating when you hear that news and then you see what else is going on, and you're seeing the likes of Man City and you're seeing the basket case that is Chelsea, and
yeah,
it's I don't think it's necessarily a level playing field. I think that the rules do need to be looked into. I mean, obviously, we're very much in favour of the independent adjudicator to come in and actually sort some of these problems out, because it's not just that at the top level, it's right the way through the pyramid. I mean, at Brighton, obviously, we know a lot about a bad owner. We nearly went out of business in 1997, and we're lucky that we've still got a football club at all. So the fact that we are still talking, we are still here, and where we are now is tantamount to what can be done if the fans rally together.
yeah. I think. like you said, it needs to be sorted. When you think of Chelsea's squad, their squad in general, the mass amount of players they've managed to accumulate is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah, it's
absolutely
just crazy.
insane. Yeah, it's
I mean,
insane.
we were trying to sign Kieran Dewsbury Hall like in January, and we tried again this window as a player that would have fitted very well into our environment, and yet Chelsea came in and gazumped us again, which they like to do, or they like to like if Brighton has an idea, Chelsea will try and copy it. Generally speaking, that seems to be the rule. It's like Todd Bowley looked at the definition of well-run in the dictionary, saw a picture of Brighton, and said, "I want that. I want that." I mean, have you ever seen Todd Bowley and Cartman from South Park in the same room at the same time? I don't think so. It's it's like he wants some cheesy puss. It's just a terrible, terrible owner who hasn't got a clue what he's doing. And at some point that is going to explode and it's going to go horribly wrong. You can't have that many players at a football club. It's just not. It's just not. I mean, we saw what happened when Graham Potter went there, and we had a great relationship with Graham, and then he went there, and it died overnight because it's if he'd have gone anywhere else. But that absolute horrible cesspit of a club. He would have gone with our best wishes and good luck. But we knew that he was never going to be given the time to do what you don't appoint a project manager at Chelsea when you know you're going to be out of work in 6 months' time because you can't. The players don't won't want to listen.
Yeah, it was an insane choice. All parties involved for that. So obviously going into this game, what are your
Hmm.
thoughts going into it? How tough do you reckon it could be for you? And where can Everton hurt you? Where are your weaknesses?
I mean, we were talking about this on our show this week, and we were saying that like pre-season, we've been looking good, great going forwards. We've been scoring lots of goals. We've been looking quite suspect at the back, so it's going to be 0-0. It's our worry going into this game is always playing against a Dyche team. He seems to have a little bit of a hoodoo over us a little bit for some reason. I don't know why. Um, I mean, the game at the Amex a couple of years ago when you won 5-1 somehow after, like, when we were like absolutely, even we lost 5-1 and we were the better team. We still can't work that one out because we didn't actually play badly in the game, but we just left ourselves open to like balls over the top, and that was a couple of managers ago, I think, and it's that is we're still susceptible to balls over the top. So, um, if Everton adopt that mentality and that game plan, you should be able to get some joy. I mean, we played Villarreal at the weekend. We nearly conceded after 37. Guess what? A ball over the top, and it was just, I mean, we managed to like ride the storm and like sort it out a little bit, but it is something we were a bit concerned about. I mean, defensively, we've still got players coming back. We're not at full strength. Lewis Dunk's just come back into the fold after being away with England all summer. He looks like he hasn't played a game all summer, which he hasn't. Um, and So he's a little bit ring rusty. Um, Jean-Paul Van Hecke is one of the greatest defenders in the world at the moment, and he will go on to be a superstar at some point. Probably not at Brighton, I'd imagine, but at a bigger club, I suppose. But he's looking the part. But yeah, I don't know what team's going to be on the pitch. I mean, I've got the team sheet from the weekend here, and I thought, oh yeah, that looks like that looks like it's going to be the starting lineup for Everton. And then you're hearing, oh. Uh, Lamptey's going to be fit. Ferguson starts training again this week. Estupiñán starts training again next week. We're signing another fullback. We're signing another winger. I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue who's going to even be at the club next week, let alone who's going to start. So, um, it's exciting. I mean, I miss those days when you used to just rock up at the ground. You didn't have social media, you didn't have the internet. at a push you had teletext and you used to turn up at the ground on a Saturday afternoon and go, yeah, who's that blonde fella in the number 11? I've never seen him before. It's like that used to happen, and it was like it was wonderful.
Well, you've said about how we potentially could hurt you. How do you think Brighton could hurt us? Yeah,
So, I mean, like looking at the way we've been playing, we've been very much using the wings. We've got, I think your fullback's a little bit suspect. I don't think Branthwaite's going to be fit, so that could be an issue. If you, I mean, Tarkowski and Keane will probably start, I'd imagine. Um,
potentially O'Brien, our new centre back. Potentially, I
right.
mean, he could pick Keane, but I think the fan base will kick off. So probably best not.
But yeah, I mean, I think that there's with the likes of if João Pedro's fit, he starts, he's going to cause problems. Minter should start, he'll cause problems. Kuru Matoma is Kuru Matoma. He's unplayable on his day. That will cause problems. It's just a case of if we create enough, it's just taking chances. We'll create chances. We'll score goals, but we don't always take the chances. And goals win games. Who knew? Um, I mean, one player that we are hoping to see at the weekend is a guy that you don't like very much, and uh, and that's Neil Maupay.
Yeah, I forgot he's
Like
back.
we see, we love Neil. We love him. I mean, we. I mean, yes, he will take six clear-cut chances to score one goal. But he will wind up the opposition constantly. He'll be a thorn in the side, and actually, his all-round play is actually very good. I mean, strikers are always going to be judged on goals, but he's actually, as a footballer, he's actually a very good player. But he, unfortunately, the fact that he does miss lot of chances does take away some of that shine for him. But we still got an awful lot of time for him here. He did okay for us, and he's he's one of those players. But generally speaking, I don't think Everton necessarily feel this. I know that we do at Brighton. I know they do at Brentford. But if he plays for you, you love him. It's but yeah, I don't think he's going to get on the pitch. But it'd be nice to see him.
No, I think he's a bit unlucky that he's just not a Sean Dyche. When you think of Sean Dyche strikers, I don't think he really fits the mold
Yeah,
either.
he's about 6 foot too short, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I just don't think he's that type of player, unfortunately for him. So, he was born under the Frank Lampard regime, and I think if he was any good of a manager, Frank Lampard, that could have worked. He just lacked the ability as a manager. But yeah, I do feel for Moipai a little bit, but his social media also doesn't help, does it? He seems to rile up everybody, especially Arsenal.
Well, I mean, I mean, there was a brilliant game during lockdown where it was Bernd Leno got seriously injured going up for a challenge with Maupay, and Arsenal fans blamed him for it, which is great if he was even in the same postcode as him at the time. It was just he just jumped for it and landed badly, but yeah, it turned into handbags after that for the rest of the game, and it was absolutely hysterical. And there's no love lost between him and Arsenal ever since. And yeah, he is a wind-up merchant. There's no doubt about it. But it's like yeah, some of his posts, particularly when he, I mean, there's some good ones where he was going after James Maddison in the last season. That's quite funny.
Yeah, that's the other one. That's the fans. So, who is the Brighton player for us to watch? You've mentioned a few. Who do you think is your most dangerous man?
Not sure if he signed him yet.
Oof, excited.
Yeah,
I
I
thought,
mean, if Gruder comes in, that it could be Gruder. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, we've got an awful lot of. I mean, we're excited about our squad going into the season. There's nobody's got any divine right to success, but we're hoping to be competing as close to the top six as we possibly can. Um, in terms of I mean, you can't look much further than Karim Matoma, really. I mean, he's just such a wonderful player who just glides past people, and nobody can quite work out how he's doing it. He's just absolutely amazing. João Pedro again, he's got superstar like DNA. He just oozed quality and class. Um, on a good day, he's unplayable as well. With us, it's just and Matt's FIFA again. I've only seen him in the flesh once, but I was excited enough by him to think that he's going to be um, again an absolute superstar. And speaking to my friends in Holland, um, they were gutted that he was injured prior to the Euros because he would have started every game, and he would have been outstanding and made it maybe they would have had a slightly better tournament. But yeah, so I mean we got lots of players to look forward. We're looking forward to see. Um, but the thing that we always drill home at Brighton is we're a team. We don't really have too many superstars. We're a sum of our parts, and when those parts come together, we can be absolutely breathtaking. It's just a case of sometimes, quite often, particularly towards the end of last season, and in Rome particularly, it just kind of like disintegrated a little bit. So, um, new man at the helm. 31 years old, like youngest manager in the Premier League. I mean, I mean, there's this rite of passage as a football fan. One day you're younger than the players, then you get a little bit older, but you're still younger than the manager. Now the manager's younger than the players. It's insane. But I mean, I met him at the weekend. Nice guy. Talks a really good game and answers all my questions, which was nice. And yeah, so we're excited to see what he can do. Tony Bloom doesn't usually get his appointments wrong, so yeah, there's plenty to be hopeful about. And let's hope that starts with 3 points for the Albion on Saturday, which you will disagree with horribly.
Yeah, yeah. Well, my counter question is, what Everton players do you think will cause you problems? Is there anyone in the squad that you think might be able to exploit your weaknesses?
I mean, I'm just looking through the team now. I mean, Jack Harrison's always a menace. Dwight McNeil's always a menace. I really liked Ndiaye at Sheffield United. I thought he looked good. We did see him play against us for Marseille last season. Um, can't say I noticed him too much, but again, I think um, back on UK soil, I think he could be a problem. It's just the case. We're gonna play with a high line, so anyone that's got a little bit of pace or to like coming on that ball over the top, then that could cause us problems.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we've got a couple of players that've got a bit of pace down that wing. The new lad from Denmark, Lindstrom, seems a bit quick as well. Um, my next question is score predictions. How do you think it'll go at the weekend? You did mention
Nil
0-0
nil.
before. You think it's gonna be a 0-0?
It's either going to be 5-4 or 0-0.
Yeah, yeah. First game of the season, everyone's excited.
All
0-0.
bets are off. I mean, we've got quite a tough start to the season, so um, I mean, Everton. We've had a little bit of success there over like, a couple of recent years, but it's never been a happiest of hunting ground. I'm going, which basically means we're going to lose. So yeah, I think that I mean, there was the game like where we won 4-1, where Pascal scored the slowest breakaway goal in history, which is still we still watch on a regular basis, and we're going to miss Pascal. He's a fabulous player for us, and we're devastated to see him go. But he's got a great move back to his home country for his boyhood club. Well, at his age, playing in the Champions League as well. I mean, who wouldn't want that? So we wish him well. But yeah, I think yeah. I think it probably will be a draw, but we want the 3 points. I mean, we're ahead of Man United at home week after, and then Arsenal away after that. So it's we want to get. We started the season really well last season. We're hoping that we're going to continue that trend and put as many points on the table as possible.
Nice. My final question, it's a random one that we always do throughout the season. This season's is
Oh, I've been
if
looking
you
forward to this.
if you could swap lives with any celebrity, dead or alive, who would it be?
If I could
Obviously,
swap
when they're dead,
lives.
they'd be alive, not.
Oh God. Swap lives. Um, huh. I don't know. That's an interesting one. Um, I was tempted to say Taylor Swift for a minute there, but just for a laugh. But I don't know. I mean, there's so many. Um, I mean, would you want to be like would you want to be a playboy? Would you want to be a superstar footballer? Do you want to be a pop star? I mean, I mean, Robert Plant's a bit of a dude. Um, I like Robert Plant. That would be a good one, but he does support Wolves, so there is that caveat. So I don't know. David Bowie. He had any of those 70s rock stars who basically lived a life of excess and fun and created some of the greatest music of all time. So any of one of those. But yeah, let's go with one of those.
Nice, nice choice. Well, that is all we've got time for. Thank you
Oh,
for
you want to
joining
have
me on the
fun, right?
channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been good.
You don't want to be a monk.
Well, no, exactly. Yeah, someone with the money as well to enjoy it.
I
It'd be
mean, I
nice
might
to
look
see.
like a monk, but I don't want to be one.
Anyone who's got a bit of money, it'd be nice to see how the other half live when they.
Well, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But thank you for joining me, mate. It's been a pleasure to speak to you.
And you, and yeah, we might see you at the weekend. So yeah, good luck for the rest of the season, apart from Saturday, you lot.
Yeah, and yeah, likewise, right back at you.
All right.
Don't forget, guys, you can check AD out as well at Albion Raw. The links will be in the description as always, so go
Yeah,
check them out. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and comment down below your score predictions. We'll look forward to reading them. See you soon.